Well, there you go. They're watching a moment of history here. The announcement, the presentation rather, didn't need to be announced, but Carles Puyol making his 100th appearance for Spain tonight. And it's going to be a special presentation. Not sure he would have chosen a friendly match. He'd rather the final of a Euros or something like that, but it's still a great moment for him. He might have chosen the Camp Nou as well, mightn't he? But he's going to get doubtless a trophy of some sort here, Carles Puyol. And we'll just wait and see what awaits him. You can never be quite sure. One or two of the golf tournaments in this part of the world have some of the biggest trophies you've ever seen. But let's see what awaits Puyol. It's quite intriguing. I wonder if he knows. Well, here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's something that he'll obviously treasure. And the players certainly enjoying it as well. Work out exactly what that is, Tony?
Did you have to come to me with that one? I'm trying to work it out myself. A couple of big horns there.
I think it might be an oryx, actually. Anyway, he'll treasure it. It's a lovely moment. And seriously, he has been a servant, a competitor. And the fact that he's still able, after a few injuries, to play at this level is testament to just how good a player he's been.
I think it's exactly right, and you said competitor there, because every time I see him, he really has got so much spirit in him. And he has had injuries over the time, and he's come back in that side. Really has performed very well indeed. 100 caps. It's very impressive. Not many get to that stage in their career. It's an elite bunch, and Puyol has joined it.
David Villa is going to make his entrance, the man who, for whom Arsenal made a fairly dramatic late bid, it would seem, at the end of that January transfer window. Let's hope it's not one of many, many substitutions. Of course they have to make them, but it's been such a good game. It'd be a shame if the rhythm was broken up too much. And Gerard Piqué comes on as well. And that will be a different test for Uruguay, who've put Spain under so much pressure. Just feel that Piqué might help ease that a little bit. Puyol, after receiving his trophy, is off. Piqué on, and David Villa as well. The changes here from Del Bosque. Well, we're back underway. 1-1 at half-time. A game that has been very, very easy on the eye.
The number 13, Juan Mata, that will be replaced by the number 7, David Villa. The number 5, Carles Puyol, that will be replaced by the
so Villa
Gerard Piqué.
coming on, and Gerard Piqué as well. Spain with fresh legs to try and make a difference here. Mata, the other player withdrawn, by the way. Here's Jordi Alba. Now Ramos. He'll feel that he's got plenty to prove this season, and plenty that he wants to prove.
That's exactly right. If you think a few years back, of course, Valencia was absolutely flying. He was the main man, top goal scorer for Spain as well, and all of a sudden, he's now not the #1 choice.
Well, it's hard to play in a strikerless system when you're a striker, in terms of the national side.
Minor problem, hey? And of course, the success that the Spanish side have had, he'll never force his way in.
In it comes from Lodero. Has he been penalised there? I think he has, Lugano. That looked a little harsh. Alba didn't much like the challenge.
calling this a friendly. I tell you what, some spice out there. The referee's trying to get them together as well and say, just calm down. However, we want to see certainly the feistiness of both sides, because they both want to win. They want to get out there and show how good they are. And certainly Uruguay have been impressed by they've come back from being a goal down, a poor mistake. They've responded really well.
Really see the point there of calling them together. Almost shrugged at each other. Now Iniesta picks the pass for David Villa, and then forward by Lugano. Now Lodero. Uruguay have come out on the front foot here, almost as if they want to establish dominance. Rodriguez, the goal scorer, for Cavani, for Suarez. It's an excellent start to the second half. Cazorla just tugged back there by a smiling Diego Godin.
Needed to again. Otherwise, again, they broke so quickly, but you're right, it's been a good start because Uruguay been on the front foot as well. Suarez picked out the wrong ball before, but pace is still a couple of changes, but nothing's changed at all to the game. It's still at a high tempo. And at 1-1, still all to play for.
Fabregas looking for David Villa. Broken up though by Caceres. Now Suarez tried to pick out Cavani first time. It's a clever ball from Gonzalez in for Cavani, but he ran out of room. But once again they show that with movement and invention you can trouble this Spanish side.
You're exactly right, it was Caceres that started it right from the very back, but when it came over, Cavani had no right to win that ball, and eventually he played it out to the right-hand side, and you would have thought with an extra 10-15 yards there, the ball wouldn't sit for him just there. He volleyed it towards goal, good defending from Ramos, and that was all from Spain having an attack. Within 5-6 seconds, suddenly they're at the other end.
Iniesta. Jordi Alba with a lovely cushion touch there for Fabregas. Hear the drums starting to beat in the crowd, trying to beat out a rhythm for the game here. Lots of precision from Spain, but not as much incision as you'd like to see. In from Fabregas with two big men for once in there for Spain, Ramos and Piqué. They almost use, as Barcelona do, the conventional corner as a shock tactic.
To surprise them, my goodness, they put it in the box high. Because otherwise it's always on the deck.
Here goes Iniesta. Villa went down there on the edge of the area. Have a little look at the referee. Great pass though from Piqué. Big chance, Pedro. Uruguay made a mistake. They fell asleep. He knows it. And if you do that, Spain will punish you.
And they have been punished. In Spain, we wondered what sort of response would get. Well, very impressive. And Pedro, I thought he actually missed the opportunity as well when he took that touch. Piqué slid him in. What an excellent finish. Arrowed into the bottom corner. And here, when they lose the ball, always at your most dangerous because you're pushing out. One touch, the second one, right in the back of the corner. Muslera, absolutely no chance. Hard and low. It's a good finish, and now Uruguay have to respond again.
Two goals, though, that were so preventable from a Uruguayan point of view. But massive credit to Spain. I think that's the frustration, though, for Tabarez and co.
And of course, when you do play against the best, that's what happens. Every little mistake, you get found out. And you're right, they weren't. First one, yes, that was a huge mistake. The second one there, they had possession, they just gave the ball away. But Piqué, a centre-half, what a lovely weighted pass it was through, and you get punished.
Now Iniesta. They have an expectant crowd here in Doha. Can Spain turn on the style? Here is Piqué. Two key passes in this match from central defenders, Caceres and Piqué, for two of the goals. There's Busquets, Fabregas, just kept in by Jordi Alba. Here's Iniesta. Now Ramos. Piqué. Little turn from Fabregas, but he was caught by Gonzalez.
It's an excellent turn, though. He's aware what side he was coming from, Gonzalez. Certainly a foul. Now, coming away in a dangerous area. Rather than go for goal, they play on.
Here's Iniesta, just in behind Cazorla. See Raúl there, an interested spectator. Another of the Spanish players, of course, with a century of caps, as Suarez breaks forward, spots a gap! Rodriguez felt he was fouled, but he'll be furious that he couldn't take advantage. Del Bosque is concerned enough to be prowling the edge of his technical area. Iniesta for Jordi Alba. Oh, a little bit of afters there. And the yellow card flash for Jordi Alba. Now, he has been frustrated by one or two of the Uruguayans all night, and he's shown it there.
And what he needs to do is just get out of the way. You know that Lugano's going to be the centre as well. This is feisty, it really is. No love lost here.
Cavani keeps up the chatter. Yellow card as well. Well, couldn't work out who was showing the second one to. Diego Perez was certainly booked. Was it Ramos? Yeah.
That wouldn't be a surprise.
No.
But it shows you both sides are really wanting to win this game. They've got themselves in front, but you need to go and get yourself sent off. That would be a very silly move in a friendly.
It's interesting as well, isn't it, when the crowd's a little quieter, what you can hear as Suarez tries to find a way through. It's an interesting chapter of beginner's Spanish for a lot of people there, I would have thought, in terms of how to insult. Here's Cavani. Suarez in the middle. Cavani goes himself. Excellent save by Victor Valdez.
It was, but I'm not sure that was the right option as well, because Suarez was inside to him on the left-hand side. However, goal scorers, when they do see an opportunity to strike at goal, That's exactly what they do. It's a great timed ball. Excellent save from Valdez, just tips it past the post. That's a great response from Uruguay, though. It really is. We're very impressed.
Yeah, once again, they have come fighting back. As Nicolas Lodero of Botafogo these days swings in the corner. Piqué with the header. He's got to keep control, this referee, because I think we're a couple of challenges away from another incident, and that might be one of them.
Well, that was poor, wasn't it? Absolutely nowhere near the ball, and I think you're right. We saw before Logano, he was trying to say, we'll shake hands with Jordi Alba. Well, that never happened. Just going to calm this down, but now we're going to see a young, exciting talent.
Yeah, absolutely. A player that has been more talked about than many in La Liga this season. Isco has been part of that astonishing Malaga story. Just of togetherness in terms of how they've kept going with all that has beset them. 20 years of age, believed by many to be part of a great Spanish midfield of the future, and he's going to get his debut. Might just be walking on to quite an interesting atmosphere on the pitch. It's not an easy debut, that is for sure, as Iniesta floats one wide for Pedro, appeals for handball. Uruguay just stopped playing there. And eventually Lugano gets it clear. Lodero. There's Suarez. A bit schoolboy that though from Uruguay. Rodriguez has been outstanding, hasn't he, against Azpilicueta down that Uruguay left. Here he comes though, Iniesta, who will be replaced. No pressure, son. One of the greats comes off. Over to you.
Older than you, maybe, but I tell you what, the old is still very impressive indeed. Iniesta, what a fantastic touch he's got. I love watching him play. Tonight was no different.
He'll want an early touch and get on the ball, but a slip has let in David Villa here. Isco up in support. Villa goes for the curler. Just for a moment, were you thinking what I was thinking? If he squares this, it could be Isco's first touch in international football, back of the net.
But David Villa always coming on his right boot, wasn't he? It's Lugano that made the mistake initially. We've seen these nestled in the top corner before. Didn't quite keep it down enough. Isco was there on the right-hand side, trying to follow up.
Half an hour to play. Really entertaining stuff in Doha. Spain lead, but only just. Pedro with the second half goal after one from Fabregas in the first, and Rodriguez for Uruguay. That was a mishit pass. Luckily just goes to relative safety. Cazorla. Jordi Alba. There's Piqué. Well, we were wrong about Cavani. He's still out there. They're all getting a good workout, these Uruguayan players.
Sure, Mazzari was saying calm down, save some energy, because he has been tremendous. I mean, they all have worked very hard as a team getting back in. You see Cavani now going back into that midfield to help out. I think certainly that must be a ploy from Tabarez for one of his strikers at least, when they can, to get in there and try and just add another body into that midfield.
Yeah, played 90. Came against Catania on Saturday night, and presumably will do likewise in Rome. And there's another little moment of totally unnecessary from Caceres. Just a little moment of frustration.
I think the Spanish squad as well, there's really is an embarrassment of riches, isn't there? If you think Michu, the amount of goals that he scored for Swansea, surely any other country he'd be straight in that squad. But of course, in that false nine position and that midfield, we have so many wonderful players. We've just seen Isco come on. And of course, David Silva's on the bench, and it's just player after player that really are top quality.
It's taken nearly 63 minutes, but finally one of us has said false nine. If there's such a thing as a buzz position, that would be it.
I think a false fullback, wasn't it? What does that mean?
I wasn't saying that for a second.
I got there first.
I was talking to someone who suggested that fullback should be redefined, though, because there are so many now who just aren't fullbacks. You can't really call Jordi Alba a fullback in the traditional sense, can you?
Well, he does like to get forward, obviously, at every opportunity, but that's where Cavani, we've seen once or twice, get into those channels between the fullback and the centre-half. So as soon as Alba does go forward, where's the space? Well, it's in behind him, and of course down the side of the centre-half, and that's certainly, with someone like Cavani, you can take advantage of that.
Just get the sense in the humidity, there's a little bit of tiredness creeping in, the pace has dropped. Spain, of course, happy to be ahead, probably slightly relieved, but then how long will that last? They've given it away again. It's Rodriguez. Thought about shooting, then he found Suarez, who was done fantastically well, but Busquets was back there to mop up. Good feet from Valdez. Finally, Tabarez is going to make a change, and Taravalo for his old mate Diego Perez. Both outstanding in that World Cup campaign in 2010. Taravalo now with Palermo. He is rock solid, Mr. Reliable. 25 minutes to go. Goals from Cesc and from Pedro have Spain in the lead at the moment, but Uruguay were threatening. This, though, is Spain's chance maybe to make it three. Lovely pass towards Isco, but just too far in front of him.
It was, and has Isco touched it yet? Clearly his first touch must be a goal. That's what it is. They're waiting to get in the right position. It seems that way, but that's what happens when you give the ball away. Spain break at you so quickly.
The sound of some of that screaming from the stands. I think a boy band must have just arrived. Maybe that's what's coming later.
Here we see it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them tearing forward. Just overhit the pass. But Cavani's there, back, trying to get the ball because he was the one that gave it away on the halfway line. It's great work from the striker.
Here is Cavani. Tony speaking there as a man who didn't play with too many strikers who work back like that.
Can you tell?
Yeah, the world-weary tone, I think, gave it away.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, Maxi Pereira. Another reference back there to Tony's playing days. A full-back who made a great run, but little end products.
I think now, when you talked about fullbacks actually, tearing forward, now you've got to do a bit of everything, haven't you? And even strikers. I mean, you can't just stand up there, on your own. And you look at all the great sides now. Actually, Spain being one, and this Barcelona side, which.
That's a good ball from Rodriguez for Cavani. Here's Suarez. Piqué did well there to get out and smother him and see the danger.
No, he did really well. Excellent cross, and that's a chance, I do think. Spain certainly crossing into the box. So you can get at them. She couldn't quite get it down. Suarez tries to swivel and turn. Couldn't manage it, but you look at the teams like Barcelona, it's so noticeable now is how hard they all work to get that ball back. And as soon as they do lose it, they don't wait and drop back in. They go straight around the opposition quickly as they can, win it back, and off they go again.
That's excellent from Piqué, and this is Isco. Now Azpilicueta and Pedro. And Isco, he fits in, doesn't he? Azpilicueta will be very lucky not to get a card there. He's breaking up that counter-attack.
Certainly did give him a nudge there. I like the way he runs back, doesn't look at the referee at all.
Another Uruguayan change. Gonzalo Castro, Real Sociedad, formerly of Real Mallorca. He's going to come on. And it's the excellent Rodriguez, the goal scorer. He's had a very good all-round game. And he's going to be withdrawn.
He has, he's worked really hard up and down that flank. When the chance came, didn't he take it well?
That gives us a chance to tell you what's coming up here on ESPN and ESPN HD. Just see what happens here with Castro, but it bounces through. Now then, big deep breath. The Clydesdale Bank Premier League coming up Saturday, 11:15 a.m. Inverness Caledonian Thistle against Celtic is live for us here on ESPN and ESPN HD. And of course, that was the game that spawned the most famous sports headline of them all, wasn't it? Barclays Premier League live as well. Southampton Man City Saturday at 4:30 p.m. We might yet see Southampton's Gaston Ramirez. Instead, we're going to see the former Man United player Diego Forlan. Now playing for Internacional, and finally Cavani does get his rest, and I'm sure Matsari will be delighted.
He certainly will. He's put in a shift, even though it has only been coming up for 70 minutes. He does work so hard. Could have had a goal really. I think if his touch was slightly better, don't say that too often at all. But very good indeed, Cavani.
Well, they still love Forlan. And our third debutant of the night, Mario Suarez of Atletico Madrid, is going to replace Santi Cazorla. He's been, as usual, compact and excellent self. He's got a corner to defend first of all. Just wonder if they could turn the volume up a little on the public address system here, because I think there was someone about 100 miles away didn't hear that. Good grief. Well, he's done well actually to keep a lid on things, because it's been an interesting old game from a discipline point of view.
No, it certainly has, and players out there really are giving it their all. But now with so many changes, you just wonder how that's going to affect the tempo of the game. Hopefully it'll keep it going with fresh legs on there, played in the same way, in the same spirit. We're in for an excellent last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we could be. And he'll wonder, if they do lose, about what might have been. Particularly the first goal, but the second was poor play. mention what was coming up on ESPN. I should also point you in the direction of our FA Cup live match, Tuesday, 7:15 p.m, 4th round replay, Leicester City against Huddersfield Town. For the time being, it's about the world and European champions against an excellent Uruguay side. Luis Suarez, Alba gets back. Piqué then does just enough. Suarez, though, is so hard to disconcert.
And there's that area again, but Alba being so quick, he does get back really well, just does enough.
They don't like Alba, though. There was a little incident before Cavani went off with Jordi Alba. You see, that's interesting from Suarez, because his body language said he knew he was offside and he was going to let that ball run. Then he touches it and is flagged and immediately complains. Way off. Look at the body language, yeah.
Suarez complains? No, surely not.
Honestly. Oh dear, that's normally the sign of a bad game. But this hasn't deserved a Mexican wave. Are you a partaker if you're in a crowd and that happens, or are you one of the people who sits down rather grimly and refuses to join in?
You've got to give it a go, haven't you, surely? You get up there. However, I wouldn't be doing it during this game, because this really is one to keep an eye on.
Here's David Villa, now Fabregas. Oh, fantastic pass! That is some goal for Pedro. Beautifully worked, and the final ball was something else. A second half goal for Pedro. And Spain now, I think, certain winners of this.
Sensational. What a ball it was from Fabregas. And again, when they lose it, how quickly Spain get forward. Fabregas gets the ball onto his right boot, but look at that pass in between the defence and goalkeeper. Neither can do anything about it. Pedro reads it well. All he's got to do is get his foot on the end of it. It ends up in the back of the net. But the vision from Fabregas, that's what made the goal.
Wow. And that is a nice way, isn't it, to make your final contribution. Pedro replaced by Alvaro Negredo of Sevilla. I don't think there've been 2 goals between the sides, but Spain are so clinical. Still time. There's still quality out there on the field for Uruguay. Here's Suarez. This is where you have to be careful with Spain, because this is where they start to pick you apart. First touch for Negredo, couldn't quite find Villa.
Is there a better ball played tonight? I don't think so, was it, for the goal? Fabregas superb. Not a bad last touch as well, Pedro. Worked well in that front three. 3-1 lead now with 15 to go. Uruguay have it all to do, don't they, really?
So Forlan could believe he was onside.
No,
there.
he was offside, and then he came back and then joined in again.
Yeah, Uruguay now are really up against it. Glad you mentioned the finish as well by Pedro. We were waxing lyrical about the pass, but you're right, it was a terrific one-touch finish as Tabarez looks to make another change here. Walter Gargano for Inter is going to replace Lodero. Familiar face to regular viewers of ESPN's Serie A coverage. Formerly of Napoli, but now very much an Inter man.
Not a surprise to see 3 of the midfield 4 go off as well. They certainly Had a lot of work to do, trying to chase this Spain side down.
Referee didn't see that as a foul by Suarez, and he has it back, and Forlan could be in, but PK once more stands strong. It's Gonzalez who's down.
Challenge with Ramos there. I think
yeah.
it's a knee in the cheek. Youch.
Yeah, don't think he's down in vain. Little field to check the cheekbones okay. As the unpopular Jordi Alba with the Uruguayans anyway is replaced by the very popular with Arsenal fans, Nacho Monreal.
I was at the Emirates for Monreal's debut for Arsenal. And he won't be playing teams like Stoke every week. But what a ball. The timing of the run. And Fabregas does a bit of everything, doesn't he? I mean, he scores goals, he sets them up. Certainly his understanding at club and international level is there for all to see.
Well, they're pretty content. That was quite an enigmatic statement you made, by the way. You saw Monreal's debut and he won't be playing teams like Stoke every week. Does that mean he played well?
He did play well, but I meant physically. If you imagine you're coming from a team like Malaga that plays in La Liga, and then you go against Stoke side who are hitting it very direct, and he must have made 15, 20 aerial challenges. Him and Walters, they kept bashing heads, but 3 or 4 times, blood everywhere. He won't be faced with that every single week, but he did well. He coped with it well, and once he got the ball down, I mean, he looks a real class player. That it's obvious, but Arsenal, I think, have got a very good left back indeed.
Better than Andre Santos, anyway.
I said left back.
Yeah. Well, Gonzalez is having the ice held up to the eye. Aguirre Garay is on to replace him.
That's the only thing, isn't it, with these friendlies like this? It's been such a great game. Stop-start nature at the end because so many changes are happening. So that was an injury, but there's substitutions here, there and everywhere. It's a real shame. It would have been nice to see the original 11v11 play out for as long as possible, but even so, the intensity's been there. It's been a high-quality encounter. And Spain, I think they've just shaded it, to be fair. But Uruguay, they had their chances. Certainly if Cavani took one earlier, could have been very different, and of course the keeper did make a mistake. Lots of ifs and buts, but whatever happened, we've seen Spain respond well. Now got a 2-goal lead, 10 minutes to go.
And there were certainly moments when Spain didn't look comfortable. And you'd have to say from this, I mean, you know, we haven't sat and watched every qualifying game, but if Uruguay play like this, with this togetherness, they're surely going to be okay in terms of making it through to the next World Cup. They could just pull a goal back here. Might still have a game tonight. Just starting to look unlikely with both sides slowing and tiring. I'm amazed that Suarez is seemingly going to play 90 minutes. Wonder what Brendan Rodgers makes of that. That looked like a foul, and the shot is well wide. Valdez is wondering about the closing down. It was Gargano who hit it.
But certainly tackle from behind. Referee points to the ball. He saw something else. Poor shot though, wasn't it? And that's different from that sort of area in the first half. Fabregas at least tested the keeper, got his just rewards. Gargano there Nowhere near.
Not renowned for his goal scoring, old Walter. Here's Aguirre Garay. Oh, that was nearly perfect for Suarez. Spain have looked vulnerable to that pass, slid into those channels from midfield all night. That's where the goal for Rodriguez came from. Great pass by Caceres, but there's been one or two other occasions. Michel Salgado there, chatting away with Raul. And if you were a resident of Doha or hadn't watched a football match before or seen a European fan in all their glory, you'd think one of the main components of supporting your team was comedy headgear, because I've seen a lot of that. Wigs and sombreros will be flying out of the shops tomorrow. There you go. You go to player friendly and you end up with a black eye. I hope he's going to be okay for that big Serie A game on Saturday. Lazio Napoli. That was Lazio's Gonzalez, of course. There's Villa. Isco, who has done nothing spectacular, but has looked very much like he belongs. Mario Suarez and Isco once again. Interesting psychologically as well, Tony, to bring Isco on when he did at 2-1 with a little bit of tension out there. It shows great confidence in the player. It's not a sort of afterthought, go on son, here's 10 minutes, we're 4-1 up, I'll give you a go. It says, I believe you are good enough and I'm going to put you on in a competitive situation.
I think certainly for Del Bosque, it's trying to blood the new young players coming through at the right time. And yes, this is the friendly, but I've got to say, the way it's been played is anything but. So it's a high-tempo game. It's been a good game. They took the lead. And he got put on to show what he can do.
Well, referee didn't help Spain there. And that's a fine pass from Aguirre Garay, and Suarez is offside. Must have been close.
Very close, but that's the opportunity again. You see the fullbacks. Monreal this time has gone. And that you get isolated against the centre half. And that to me looks onside. Yes, it's difficult in real time, I'm sure, but benefit of the doubt wasn't to the striker there, and it should have been.
Well, one of them, I think both of them might have been off there, Forlan and Suarez. They were almost looking at each other to see if either was on. That's how crazy the offside rule has got, but they were both off. Villa. Here's Piqué.
I think we've done well to get the game to peter out in the 80th minute, because normally it's a lot sooner than that once the changes come, but it's been a feisty old encounter. Thankfully no one's got themselves sent off.
Here's Aguirre Garay. And Jordi Alba seemed to be the centre of much of the unwanted energy in the game, if you like. It's calmed down a lot since he went off. Given away here to Villa. Still time for a final Spanish flourish, just to make the point. Nearly. He's given the free kick, I think, here, the referee, so Spain will have an opportunity to launch something. It's Godin who's lost his boot.
Integrated it really well, didn't he? Actually stepped on his foot. It should have been the other way.
They all have their names on the boots these days. Think of that as something for flair players, but even Godin. So Fabregas. The referee just wants a final word with one or two of them. Ramos and Aguirre-Garay, I think. Flicked on, but never close to being underneath the crossbar from Sergio Ramos.
That was a good delivery in from Fabregas. Defender there. Just about does enough, Lugano.
He scored the goal against France that looked like it was going to be the winner before Giroud's equaliser. Pedro again amongst the goals here, as he was in that match against Belarus. And he got a hat-trick. There's Suarez with not too many options. Forlan was the only one.
Actually, that was unlucky as well, because that was the right ball. He saw Forlan pull away from the centre-half, but Spilicueta gets back really well. Covers his centre-half, a good fullback should do. Tidies up.
Mario Suarez. Now Isco. Here's Negredo. Well, wildly ambitious really from Alvaro Negredo, but given what Muslera did in the first half, probably worth it.
Exactly. He saw the goal in the first half, thought, right, let's see if Lightning's going to strike twice. Like that, it's not. Got to hit the target first.
Just be a token amount of stoppage time, I would have thought, at the end of the game. 4 minutes. Quite a large token amount of stoppage time. There's Isco. There is time for Spain to add a fourth, maybe. Now Villa, 1-2 off the defender. Good save. Because he caught that well, Villa.
He certainly did, with a lot of power. And yes, it was a near post, but still got to stop them. There's a 1-2 off Lugano. When he hits it left-footed, Muslera gets everything behind it, keeps it out.
Yeah, did well to parry it away. There's Villa once more. Ramos was winding up the big shot and took too heavy a touch. And now it's Luis Suarez. He'll want to torment him if he can, right until the end. Isco. Now Fabregas. And they're going to finish as they began the game and as they've carried on for much of it. Pass the opposition into submission. Here is the debutant Isco. Oh, lovely turn from Isco. Should have led to a goal.
Brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. I thought he'd miss his opportunity, so I'm shouting to cross it instead. He knew best because sent Godin the wrong way. Couldn't quite find his teammate there. They both were making that near post run. Muslera again just about does enough. Excellent play from Spain. How many passes was that move? And it ends up in the left-hand corner. Isco's skill puts it across. Almost another goal.
Yeah, and you've seen enough of Isco tonight in a Spanish shirt to think he belongs. Here he is again. Lost out that time. Forlan. Are going to, I think, kick the ground there. Zaravalo. Is the time for one final Spanish attack. Monreal for David Villa. Great tracking back from Aguirre Garay. He's been very good since he came on. Here's Suarez, just wants some support. Gargano. Suarez almost trying to wade through two challenges there. This is PK. Garay inevitably the one who was going to put Monreal under pressure. Well, it's been entertaining. In the end, the best team in the world got home by 2 clear goals, but they were given a scare or two along the way. Fabregas gave Spain the lead on 15. Rodriguez with an equaliser just after the half hour. 2 second-half Pedro goals mean that it finished here. Spain 3, Uruguay 1.